Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of UHS Presents. I'm your host Sarah, and with me as per the usual is Laurie with some
Hey,
banging green eyeshadow. I do like that eyeshadow.
thank you.
We're trying to, go with this Hulk theme, and of course everything's going wrong. Wait, your camera just loves it when you adjust your
It's so
hair.
sensitive. If I move at all, it's like, no focus for you anymore.
No. So Katie's here. Hey Katie.
Hey.
So, yeah. Obviously, because, She-Hulk theme or attempts at She-Hulk theme, we're talking about She-Hulk stuff tonight. But before we get to that, what do we have for UHS news?
The Surgeon 5 digital is out to backers and patrons. I think I uploaded it for patrons, pretty sure. And we've sent it off to the printer. Haven't heard back yet, so hopefully we get that this month. There's a lot of printer issues. Our usual printer, Comic Impressions, got hit by the hurricane in Florida, so we're printing with Comics Wellspring this time to take a little burden off of Rich. And of course, Comics Wellspring is currently overburdened because everyone is switching to them.
Like you do.
So,
Wow.
we're
Yeah,
gonna do what we can.
totally forgot that they're down in Florida. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, that sucks.
They're apparently doing okay. I chatted with Rich a bit. They did sustain damage to a bunch of their buildings, like the roofs, but like the employees managed to shore everything up, so no paper and no presses or anything actually got damaged. Just the roof did.
Oh my god, imagine after all the shit with paper that we've gone through, imagine if the paper got fucked up. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That would be insane. That would be so
yeah,
insane.
yeah. So yeah, I was like, is there anything we can do? Can we send you something? Like, I don't know. I feel
Little arm
terrible.
floaties, something.
Yeah.
So, Quentin
Um,
says, "I got my digital copy. Did you read it yet, Quentin? We want to know what you think. No, non-spoilery, because we're gonna spoil enough shit later in this show. So, non-spoilery thoughts on it. And anybody else who might be watching, like, let us know in the comments because we want to know.
Yeah, and
So.
and this issue has some things we don't want to spoil in it. So
Definitely don't want to spoil stuff in this one. Yeah, it's a big deal.
um,
We got other
we,
news. Better not go on because we still got more news.
yeah, we next Tuesday is the Miss Medusa's Monstrous Menagerie launch for issue 2. The pre-launch is doing really well. We have, I think, almost a record number of followers. So we're very excited. I hope you guys are ready. We haven't shown any of the covers yet, so we're really excited to show those off. Summerdale is doing one of the covers, and the sideshow cover is Johannes Chazot, and completely different vibes. It's going to be really cool. I'm really excited.
Oh yeah, Quentin says it keeps getting better. So good to hear.
Just wait for
It's
6.
so intense, so intense.
6 goes off the rails, Quentin. It's
Oh my god. Yeah,
I'm
like
excited.
somebody make this thing a mini series already because it is a really good story. I mean, I'm not just saying that because it's our book. Like shit, it's a good book. So and yes, thank you, Quentin. I said been looking forward to Medusa. Never seen a book like the first. It is a crazy book. It's like everything about it, not just the story. Like just like the creation of the book is crazy. It's all crazy. Everything's crazy. We all
Yeah,
float down here.
it's a lot of work. It's
It's a
working like
process.
that where you have, one artist doing characters and one artist doing backgrounds. And on this issue, we had Katie Rooston step in on colors to help Paul, and I stepped in on inks to help as well. So we had a lot of cooks in the kitchen trying to coordinate everything and make it look exactly the same. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, Paul,
crazy.
Laurie threw a bunch of names at Paul about who could do some coloring here, and my name was one of those names. I was like, oh, Sarah could help out, and then Paul's like, how are you with light sources? And I was like, nope, nope, nope. Katie's the one you want. You don't want me. You want Katie. No fucking way.
Yeah, I can't spoil anything, but it's the scene that we gave Katie to color has a lot of light in it. There's cages in it, and so there's like light and shadow, and it's a nightmare. And I think she hates us now. So I'm sorry, Katie.
Well, hey, on the other hand, Katie is you're getting so much practice. It's like colorist practice. You're gonna like everybody's gonna want you to do colors for him once you get into this. Yeah. Oh, she said it is driving me a bit mad. Yep. Like, Quentin said, I've been telling people about that about the surgeon for a while. So like about making it into a show because it should totally be a show. I don't know. What do you think about movie? Like, do you think there's too much going on in the series, in the like the book series, for it to become a movie? It seems like that'd be too much for one movie. It should be like a mini series.
I think it would be better as a series, a mini series or a series, and it's pretty affordable to make. It's the apocalypse. You don't need a lot of
all you gotta go
special effects.
Yeah, like, on location in South Dakota. It'd be great. It'd be fine. Yeah. So you know, it's a thing. So I said in the preview description for this episode, I wanted to tell you all about I fucking hate Spirit Halloween. Not the concept, not the store as a whole, but just like going into the physical brick and mortar store that in this particular instance used to be a Bed Bath and Beyond. Or a Pure One. I can't even remember. They're always like the Spirit Halloweens, they open up in August and they always are they literally list it on their website as former Pure One or former Bed Bath & Beyond or former Sears or whatever. It's hilarious.
That's so weird.
But so yeah, well, I actually went back to I braved the spirit again. The other day I was there and I was just minding my own business. And I was browsing the Vampire Fangs. I wanted to buy myself a nice set of Vampire Fangs, and they have some decent stuff there. So, and you know how they have those robot monsters that you step on the pad in front, and then it shows you what the monster does. Well, there was one monster that the pad meant nothing, and it was motion activated, and I stepped a little too close, and I went back today to get y'all a video so that you can see this. So, are you ready for this shit? All right, all right, let's watch.
2, ready or not, here I come. Da 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 da.
Okay, and you know it's way louder in person than it is on that video. And I shit you not, I fucking kicked the monster. It came out, it popped out, scared the shit out of me. I swung around and kicked it and knocked it over, and I was like, oh shit, did anybody see me? And I set it back up because it just fell over. I didn't break it, although I kind of wish I had.
Sarah's breaking the Spirit of Halloween.
You think that if I would have broken that stupid little monster kid that they would have made me buy it? Because I want to say it was like $150 or something, and they should not have it on a motion detector.
I don't know. That's kind of at their own risk, right? That they put something that scares the shit out of someone and someone like kicks it or like falls. Like, I don't know. Is there insurance for that? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, right. Like they have, and they, you know, and most of the things in that particular store, there's a little mat, there's a little pad in front, and you step on it, and it's got a button on it, and that's what activates it. So you know what you're getting into. And like, but I didn't know. I was facing one direction, that little fucker was behind me, and then all of a sudden he hears wah, and I'm like, phew. And then it had like a whole bunch of different phrases that it said too, and sometimes it would go, "You can pray for the dead, but the dead will pray on you." I would be doing the world a service by breaking the shit out of that thing, right? I mean, come on.
It's corny and it scared the shit out of you. I feel like it needs to be punched. Yeah. Like if they, you know, when you have martial arts reflexes and shit, like when something swings down behind you or something, like you're going to punch it. Like I would hit it. I don't think I would, you know? And then
I wouldn't say that I have martial arts reflexes, but like I do
can't-
have
you
the
can't
like
shit.
my when I get the shit scared out of me, I will punch or kick. Like that is my thing. Like my big move is that if somebody's behind me and scares me, I usually turn around
Yeah.
like this, and then I end up punching somebody. And yeah, oh my god. Oh, Mark, you're the worst. You're the fucking worst, man.
See, that reminds
Ugh.
me. That reminds me of when we did Miss Medusa 1. And by the way, there's going to be another standee for Miss Medusa 2, and it's not Medusa; it's a different one. But I was like shit starting, and because we had a few people get the life size Medusa standee, and I was like, "Yo, you guys should like put this in your kid's room at night." And like they wake up, and there's just this fucking like looming, like Gorgon standing over their bed. It's so mean. But
Oh my god.
but I
Oh my god.
I think Mark was thinking about it.
Oh. God. Anyway, moving on. Fuck those little monsters at Spirit Halloween. The costumes are cool though. Eve's here. Eve says cheers. Thanks for joining us. Hardly ever see anything of you anymore, man. You're always working now, right?
So busy.
Shit. Yeah. So, okay. On to the main event today. We actually have a last minute guest. Our friend D Fish is here. So let's bring her on. D! Your
It's She-Hulk.
costume is amazing!
Hi, how you doing? I figured, I didn't have anything green to wear, so I figured I'd improvise.
Nice. Nice.
That said, my arm will get tired holding this, so I'm back to normal.
We won't force you to hold it the whole time. That seems mean.
So I mentioned this morning to D that we were doing a She-Hulk episode, and we're just gonna talk. We want to talk about why we love it. We're gonna nitpick a little. I'm gonna nitpick. I think Laurie, you got a little nitpicking to do. I definitely have some nitpicking to do. Just little minor stuff, and then we're gonna talk about why it's culturally relevant, I guess, because there's a big thing in here, and I saw a lot of shit on. I'm sure we all saw a lot of shit online. Various people saying that that's not how the world really is, and those various people tend to be not female, shall we say, and maybe not any, and maybe they have the same exact skin color as mine. Like they tend to be a very specific kind of person. And the three of us are here to tell you that nah, you're not correct, and I want to gently course correct on this to the 10 people that are watching right now. I don't know how many people are watching. I didn't even look. Oh, I gotta stop saying that shit. Like I'm just like what's that self-deprecating on the show? I'm just shitting on the show. Like people watch it, they really do, and I love you all for it. However, let's start with what we love about She-Hulk. It's like the general, and I know that's gonna, actually, maybe we should start with what we hate, because what we love is gonna bleed into why it's important. So maybe we should start with some of the stuff that we don't love about it, and then move on to the stuff that we do love. So what don't we love about She-Hulk? I don't love that it's only 8 episodes.
Oh
And
my
I don't
God,
love
yeah.
that I still haven't seen the last one.
Oh, so good.
Oh, no, I've seen the most recent one. I mean, like, the last one that's coming out this week. I haven't seen the season finale. Also, let's throw this one out here. It's a spoiler alert episode. Yeah, so, I wish there were more episodes, but the nice thing about all these series with shorter runs, they're more quality, I think, which is good. So there's not filler episodes and garbage in it, so that's nice. However, then you only get 8 episodes.
It upset me on the very first episode because the credits are so long. So like you look at the episode and you're like, oh man, it's gonna be so long, and then it gets to like 20 minutes in and it's like, wait, why are there what? And then I'm like, I got my little mouse scrolling through the preview, the credits, like, okay, is there an after credits scene? Where's the scene? Why are these credits so fucking long? What the fuck?
Yeah, once the credits go into the corner, I know there's no more end credits scene.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Yeah, and I figured that one out too with She-Hulk because I think She-Hulk is the only one that hasn't had. I think maybe they had one post-credit scene, but
I thought they had a couple.
did
She-Hulk's
they?
had 4 so far.
Yeah,
The point is that they're not throwing one in every episode, which they do
They're
for most of the
screwing
other
with
shows.
us.
So, like, come on, guys, that ain't right.
No, a lot of the shows they haven't given us post-credit scenes on Disney Plus. I actually was reading a little article about that today, and I'm like, a lot of them we get like maybe 1 or 2 post-credit scenes a season. This
Yeah,
had the
it's
most
weird.
so far.
Bullshit.
yeah.
It's bullshit.
But then I
Although
also
the
love how
quality. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The quality of the actual episodes is good enough that I guess I'm fine. I will not. I will just deal with not having a post-credit scene. Fine.
I wish they were all about 10 minutes longer, personally.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Just take all
But
the
then
credits out and replace them with episode. I think it's about 10 minutes.
Yeah, but then if they gave us 10 more minutes, we'd want 10 more minutes. So I guess whatever.
Yeah.
And there's one episode that seemed kind of fillery to me, and I was like, this is an 8-episode season. Why the hell do they need to do a filler episode? But then it turned out to be kind of relevant. So, I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about. But, it's the wedding episode. It kind of turned out, like, I was like, they just threw this in here to be easy, but it turned out to be kind of relevant, so.
Yeah, and it was important for her characterization too, because it was one of the first instances where she went as She-Hulk for the rehearsal, very much on purpose to boost her own self-confidence, and that was one of the first times she was actually.
She wanted
so much
to
of
be
this
She-Hulk.
so much about this is bringing her to where she usually is in the comics, where she tends to prefer being She-Hulk. This is kind of bringing her to where she's not ashamed of it, where she is embracing it. And that episode was a big, important part of that. So
Yeah. So yeah, when I was actually sitting watching it, I was like, this seems kind of fillery fluff. But then, like, it was that whole, when I think back on it, and I was like, yeah, that was character development, a lot of it, and it introduced the, what the fuck was that guy? The guy, Josh. She met a guy. Fuck Josh. Fuck Josh.
I was like, this is too good. This Josh thing is too good. It's something bad is gonna happen. The whole time I was like, this is too perfect. Fuck this. What's going wrong? What is he?
Yep. I was like, oh man. She's
like,
enjoying it. Oh. TK Montel on Twitch said, I haven't watched She-Hulk, so I can't say anything. We're gonna spoil shit here. So if you were planning on watching it, you know, you might want to come back on this later. Or if you don't care, then you can stay. That's cool. We don't care if you stay. It's just at your own risk.
Yeah.
And then they said also hola. So hi.
I thought there was also kind of with that episode, you know, a statement of like, you're finally feeling comfortable in your own skin, and then your friend is shitty and jealous.
Yeah. Oh, and her why was she even in that wedding? Like, her friend is not a very good friend.
No.
Like, it must have been like one of those high school friends that, you know, she was cool when you were in high school, but she didn't change and you did, and she's still the shitty person that she always was, but you're not a shitty high school person anymore.
Well, I think there's also that type of person who is really nice to you until you take attention away from them, and then they're shitty.
You ever seen the movie The
encountered that
Duff?
type of person before. I haven't.
Yeah, this is really crappy movie called The Duff, and it has one of the girls from Scott Pilgrim in it. But she finds out Duff stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend, and she's the girl that you like. The hot girls are friends with less hot girls because that makes them look hotter in comparison. And I was like, I think that Jen might be the Duff in that situation, which is bullshit because she's not a Duff. She's a very beautiful woman, and that's one of the things I can't get over is like they downplay her physical beauty as just Jen in the whole thing, and it's like, but she's not. She's, look at that, her fucking hair, just, it's curly and it just does things, and I'm like, come on. I wish my hair did stuff. My hair is just like this wig. It's like, and that's all it does.
Yes. So, last episode was probably my favorite.
Yes, very much. Yes, I think.
Since
The first was good. Yes, thank you. The first was good.
Yes.
This one was good. Really good.
This episode had my longest sustained laugh at a single scene, and I feel like I don't even need to say what scene it was, except it involved somebody carrying their shoes.
Yeah. You know what? And I thought Charlie Cox, the guy who plays Daredevil, he flourished in this. Like, he was good in his own TV show, but he is better in this. He is like, they were like, you know what? You turn like the emo shit down, you know, like 10 to 25% and just let yourself be funny. And he was like, okay. And I'm pretty sure that's just how he is. And it really suited it more. Like, it was still Daredevil, but he was a little funny and he was charming and like not just like the Batman, like broody, like.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I understand that he has to be more melodramatic in his own series because that's dealing with his whole life and he's not just a guest on someone else's show. But like, it's so nice to see him be just like fucking pull the stick out of his ass and just be a little bit fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, agreed.
Daredevil exists in this weird zone, both in the comics and with the show, where so much of it is just living in the perpetual shadow of a fairly brief Frank Miller run that has colored the character for every other creator. And it takes creators like Mark Waid's run in the comics where it's like, no, remember when Daredevil used to enjoy being Daredevil?
Yes.
You know,
exactly.
and because Charlie Cox is so good and it's got so much charisma, he's actually able to bring both kind of versions to the role. And we got to see both sides of it because he was just as brutal going after the bad guys in this as he was in his own show. But then they could just kind of pop a balloon in it where it's, you know, oh, we're going to get another big hallway fight scene and Jen comes in and steals.
Oh god, and that whole like they're fighting the bad guys with pretty relative ease, and they're having like a fucking legal conversation about whether like how badly their clients are in trouble at the moment. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? This is amazing. And,
I think that's foreshadowing.
Yes.
Good point.
I think that's foreshadowing because he was talking when they were talking about you haven't really done much of anything yet, so it could all be pulled off as post-traumatic. And it all ties into what she does at the end of the episode.
You're right. Oh shit, yeah. Damn, I didn't think about that. And the chemistry between those two. I don't know if it's just the acting or if it's just they're just really good, but they're fucking hot together. They're good. I love it. And I hope that we have a lot more Daredevil in future episodes this season and next, because there better goddamn well be a next season, or so help me God, I will cry. Disney people, Kevin, Feige, whatever your name is.
In spite of a lot of the bullcrap you'll see online, they did finally release the numbers, and it beat out Andor's premiere that week.
Nice.
Good. Yeah.
Nice.
I liked Andor, but
yeah, I like Andor and I want it to do well, but also I really want this show to keep going.
Yes, it's doing very well. So,
wow, and yeah, good point, Fred. He meets a girl, and then she dies, right? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Jen's not going anywhere because as long as she's in She-Hulk form, like nothing can even penetrate the skin, right? Like, because there was the one about the guy trying to. I just had a X-rated thought about penetrating and her being in She-Hulk form and.
What? Are you okay?
She slept with that one asshole dude, the pediatrician or whatever. Like, his name, he wasn't no fucking doctor. You know he wasn't. He was just trying to get into her pants.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho.
For samples.
And there was 3 or 4 different guys, because there's that the episode where she has to counter sue Tatiana for the She-Hulk name. and she has to parade out her terrible dates who only wanted to be with her because she was She-Hulk and literally did not think Jen was pretty at all. Which, again, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? Just, the one guy was very clearly into, like, very strong, tall women, like muscular women, not strong, not just strong in general, but, like, defined muscles and stuff, like, so, you know, that guy, but, like, ew. Anyway, so, but there was other guys, they wanted to be with her because she was a high profile and she's, you know, exotic and different as She-Hulk, and they didn't care about Jen, and Jen's like, if you have one, you have to have the other. Why can't you? How did you not know this going into it anyway? That's what I want to know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you guys knew that she was like, she was Jen and She-Hulk, and actually, to call them two different entities, they're like how Bruce Banner is Bruce Banner and the Hulk until it took him, what, 10 years to figure that shit out? But Jen was like, immediately, got it. And that's when Bruce is explaining to her, okay, you're a Hulk now. You cannot go out into public. You cannot go into populated areas. This is it for you now. You might as well just style up your room in my weird little Mexican beach hut thing. Were they in Mexico? I can't remember where they were.
Yeah,
were they in
it said it was. Well, I think he says Mexico at one point, and then she's wearing the shirt that said Mexico for a good chunk of the time she was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and that first episode's so good, and
oh my god, I love that one so much.
Where that's where we see the very first instance of her saying shit that is just super relevant to being a woman in probably the whole world today, but definitely America. Where she says, that's the thing, like, Bruce is like, you can't lose your temper. What happens if you lose your temper? And she's like, see, that's the thing. I am always controlling my temper, because if you don't control your temper as a woman, you're gonna get your shit handed to you, because that's the world that's the thing that people think they can do. If you're, you know, and just think about how many times you were told to smile more, or that you're called irrational or hormonal because you got pissed off at somebody. And she's referring to those times, among others. And like, also she mentions straight up murdered. You could get just straight up murdered for not responding in a typically female manner to these unwanted advances from men. Like, we're not saying that you can't just be friendly, but like, don't be gross. And that's what we have to deal with a lot.
Right. I've tried to explain this to men before, with varying levels of success. Because and this happened with the show, you know, there was a backlash about it, and it's I think that people don't like to hear that they're problematic, or that they're I was going to say their species, but not really their species, but their gender is problematic, or their group of people is problematic. They don't like to hear that. But like, I've tried to explain it to dudes as like imagine you're allergic to a bee, but you don't know what kind of bee, and it'll kill you if it stings you. So aren't you just going to avoid all bees? Or like, be cautious around all bees? Because you don't know which is the one that's gonna snap and kill you or rape you. This is the analogy, and trying to explain that, like, it's not like, I don't think all men are coming to attack me, but like, there's always a chance, so you have to be cautious and controlled at all times.
Exactly. Like you and it is like, I am cautious no matter what. Like, even if they're not out to try and put a sexual advance on you. If they want, because sometimes you very clearly aren't what they're looking for, and so instead of just leaving you the fuck alone, they want to mock you and poke you and prod you and harass you and make your day shitty because they think it's funny. And I love to pieces all the men who don't do this shit, but some of them do, and they give y'all a bad name. It's like, you know how the saying is, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch? Well, that's the thing. It's like, one shitty guy makes us not like to be like makes us uncomfortable around all guys. It's not personal. It's never personal.
No,
Um,
exactly.
And we're gonna keep talking about this, but we got to do the ad thing here quick. So we'll be back in like 20 to 30 seconds.
Yay.
I like our commercials, all like the Agents of Geekdom commercials. We like it's fast and to the point.
Watch all the
Get her
shows
done.
on this channel. There's a whole bunch of them and they're awesome.
Yeah, if you just follow Agents of Geekdom on all the channels, I guess all the streams are now, yeah, like all the social media, and you literally something on every single day, I think. So, maybe not Sunday. Who's on Sunday? There's somebody on Sunday, isn't there? I feel like I'm a bad person. I'm a bad
The commercial
agent.
we just played is on Sunday.
Is it? Okay, yes. I knew it. I knew somebody was on Sunday.
The Geeks Council is on Sunday.
And I literally just saw it happen too.
It's okay. But yeah, we got a bit derailed, but like, in terms of things, of dislikes, I don't really have a lot. The main, I guess, complaint or gripe that I have is sometimes the CGI is a little rough, and you know, we expected that with it being a TV show, and that's okay. Though I find compared to Bruce's, it's worse. But maybe that's because they already have all these models built and they have the mocap all set up, and it's just Tatiana, the actress for Jen, is extremely like expressive, and it doesn't translate to She-Hulk as well as I would like it to. I think that's my main gripe with it.
When we were talking about that, what was it, last week or whatever, and I said for so many of these shots the CGI is completely unnecessary. Just paint her face green because you're only showing her from here up. She doesn't like you don't really even need to bulk out her shoulders and stuff, although you know that they have those padded suits for her because they have to give muscle and bulk to her when she's under her suit, and she is doing the, I mean, like they have, I know they have them, and if they don't have them, they certainly have the ability to get them, and they should just just paint her face green and put a wig on her. That's all extremely cheap. We do that shit like every single week. We have face paint and we have wigs. Like, don't tell me that you can't do it, Disney. And then like only the more complicated shots where her whole body's in there and you can't use her body double, which I saw a photo of them together, and it Laurie, I think you sent that to me. It's like they look so ridiculous together. It's adorable. But
it's
like
amazing.
They don't. There's just so many times like they're eschewing the traditional methods of creating these scenes and these shows and stuff in favor of going all digital. And it's like, listen, sometimes all digital, sometimes more technology is not the answer. Sometimes you just need a dude in a suit, like we talk about on Matt's Monster Movie Monday. Sometimes it's just you just should have a dude in a suit. You don't need this fancy technology crap. Just put green paint on her face, and they have very talented makeup artists there. I know they can do that, and then you wouldn't have anybody complaining about that. Then they could complain about all the woke anti-feminist anti-white male shit that we see everybody like the actual complaints would be not complaints anymore, because it'd just be those guys bitching because the show isn't going to have She-Hulk just going out and jumping around and banging everybody, because that's all they wanted to see.
Right.
So yeah, that was my main grief, like visually, like nitpicking is about that. And
or like a hybrid, like how they did Vision with Paul Bettany, where it's kind of like they put a bunch of makeup on him, but then they CG'd the makeup to make it look like it worked, like it was more crazy, and you know, it had effects on it and stuff, like maybe a hybrid like that.
I think they'll probably, but the next time we see her, it will be kind of like the difference between Luke in The Mandalorian and Luke in the Book of Boba Fett. It was night and day. And it'll probably look way better the next time we see her. And I'd still say it's about still 90% of the shots look great. There's just a handful where it's just where you're just kind of like, it's not quite as. And I remember there is a reason why like Bruce looks better than she does, and it has to do with noodly details. He's gnarly. He has a 5 o'clock shadow. He has a lot more ridges and bumps in his face. And to keep her looking gorgeous, they need her to be smooth and perfect and pristine, but still have like specular highlight where you can see light coming through green skin, which is where makeup would be a problem, but they can actually just tint that digitally now. It's like, I know just enough about the effects to get stupid. But yeah, I think a hybrid idea would be better, where they could literally just deep fake her own actress's face over the CGI, and you'd never be able to tell.
Yeah. I hope that that's the case. I hope that it's going to be much improved, because it does. Sometimes it got a little bit uncanny valley enough for me that it kind of threw me out of my suspension of disbelief. Because, and that was like, I was like, come on, this is just, she just looks, she's not nearly as upset as she looked, as she should be. Like, her face wasn't showing her emotions. And like Laurie said, that Tatiana has a very expressive face naturally. So when it doesn't come through as She-Hulk, then you're just like, it's so close, it's almost there. And that being said, the acting and the script, it's all really good. So like, I can forgive that stuff because everything else about the show is great.
They might have given them a really limited budget for the first season too, to see how it did.
Which is fair.
Because it's a risky show, because it's, there's
got a woman lead,
feminist agenda and all that.
So that's good segue into why this is relevant. Like I said before, all the shit that you're seeing in there, that as a man watching us talk about this stuff, please put your input into the comments, because we do want to hear it. Like, we aren't here to shit on men. We're here to we want to hear what you think about it. And most of our fans, I don't think, are going to say that. Like, we have awesome fans, and they're not going to talk about the shit that the incel crowd is talking about. Why this show sucks, but it's all real. Like, obviously it's sensationalized because She-Hulk is a fictional character and a genetically or gamma radiation modified. Like, she's a mutant. She's not real. That's so obviously it's sensationalized in that manner. But these things that Jen is talking about in the show, like, that kind of shit really does happen. I mean, there's a whole website dedicated to She-Hulk sucks and how we gotta, and like, they would talk about how if you I don't know if anybody got nerdy like me and paused the screen when that shit came up on, and like read some of the shit that went by too fast. But like, they were talking about killing her and about how she's a fake and a phony. And then in this most recent episode, the video that they put up during her awards acceptance thing also said the same stuff. Like, she and also she's a slut. The fuck does that got to do with anything?
They went right to that. They went right to that because I guess women who sleep with multiple people are impure to them or some shit. I don't know how it works. I don't know how
men can bang as many women as they want to, and they're fucking heroes. And women, if you have sex with more than one man, then you are a slut. Like,
ironically, they put Daredevil in that episode, who is Marvel's most notorious himbo.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
Yeah, I don't
feel like that was an accident.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
They're perfect for each other. I mean, as far as being an on-screen love, sizzling love thing, like, it's because they both are free spirits and they're both sluts. I mean, if you're gonna call her a slut, you got to call him a slut too. He is totally a slut.
But it's really rare in media that you see women sleeping with multiple people and not having some kind of consequence. It's like
Now the
almost
only exception
unheard
there,
of.
I can think of 2 exceptions, and they're both basically the same show, just set in different decades. Fucking Sex and the City and the Golden Girls. And they made, but in the show, they made points of calling each other sluts and whores and stuff. And like Blanche, they all called her a slut all the time. Like every episode, somebody called Blanche a slut in the Golden Girls. So, so like I guess they were stealing that joke so that nobody else could make it about them. Like, oh yeah, she's a slut. Well, yeah, they said that. They call her that all the time. Her friends call her that, and so they effectively steal the power from it by calling the characters on the show. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that makes an interesting concept, like where the show might go. I think the immediate, for what happened in this most recent episode, the immediate aftermath is going to be dealing with her having her outburst, and which was completely fucking reasonable in my opinion. It's just that she is 100,000 times stronger than everybody else there. So when she flies into a race, she's not going to break a TV. She's going to break all the TVs. And
Yep.
and Laurie, was it you who said that you kind of wish that she would have squished that one dude before they stopped her? Like, he totally had it coming. She should have squished him.
I was not sure. I was like, she might, and if she does, I'm not going to be mad about it because like this is.
I think they wanted to keep it limited to property damage so that they don't have to
Yeah.
worry about the legal consequences. Because it is it's implied though not specified in that last shot. She does have a moment where she comes out of it, and you get the feeling that she wasn't driving someone else's hand was on the wheel in that moment, like Bruce was warning her about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
She
like
crossed that threshold.
right there, and that's where we get to come back into the the actual core story of it, rather than having to deal with how obviously analogous to real life this shit is. Because otherwise, aside from the fact that sometimes she's green and huge, it's so realistic about like I said, the shit that happens to her is so not. They didn't make that up. That is, they just plucked that shit straight from the internet.
Yeah, but like with her, they just turned the volume up on it a little bit.
Yep.
It's a little bit more heightened because it's a more heightened reality. In the same way, it's a more heightened reality when you see whatever drama Peter Parker's going through in the Spider-Man movies. And,
Yeah.
But with She-Hulk, they're using it as an opportunity almost in the same way Star Trek does at its best, where it's like, we're taking this very, very, very real world scenario, but we're filtering it through this little fantasy scenario. Except She-Hulk, the filter, all it is just slight green tinting. That's about it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
This might that part that you pointed out, Dee, that little bit at the end of this most recent season, and the very beginning, very, very beginning, when she first turns into a Hulk, are the only real glimpses that we've had of her actually losing her shit. Because the first time was totally reasonable. Like, she didn't know what was going on, and it was like how any kind of fast acting, like a disease almost. Like, it just, you didn't know what's going on. She just didn't understand, and she couldn't have controlled it until she understood it, and then she understood it. And I mean, when Bruce tried to trigger it in the first episode, he tried to trigger the change, and she's just screaming at him that he's a psycho, and why do you have a room full of saws and shit? Which,
what is this chamber usually used for?
Right.
Ew. Like, was he using that for himself? Why did he have that? There's just no reason for him to have that. He built that for Jen. He built that for her.
It just
That
takes
fucking psycho.
the fetish dungeon to a whole other level, right? You just, sorry.
I mean, I guess when you're a Hulk, but still, they're cousins. That shit's gross. Come on.
If you're indestructible and you're into,
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you like the S&M scene, was it the BDSM scene?
Yeah.
Does that make the S now stand for smash?
There you go.
And good night.
Hi, John. You came in at a weird time.
Oh my god.
If
Fuck,
anyone
I
in the
forgot what we were even
comments-
talking about.
If anyone in the comments has any theories about why the Hulk has a basement dungeon full of saws, please let us know.
Yeah, I'm
Outside
telling
of
you.
a kinky reason.
I'm telling you, man. Because how could he have used that on himself? That doesn't make any sense. He built that for someone else, and there was no one else until Jen. So he built that to saw his cousin in half, or actually saw her into many pieces. Because there was a bunch of saws in that room, wasn't there?
And how does he like date? You know, imagine you go on a date with him and you come back to his place and he's like, well,
I would love to.
You don't
hope
go
that
in the
his-
basement. It's
Yeah,
full
his
of saws.
downstairs is like that's got to be a room he doesn't show until like the third date or something. Like that's a third date at least. Kind of
Hey,
get to see
John.
that until the third date. Like let him see you naked first. Oh no! Hi, John and John and yeah, everybody's coming in.
Well, Thor's seen him naked, so is that first base?
I guess the context matters, doesn't it?
That's
Wasn't exactly a date situation then, but anyway,
Everybody's
so-
seen Thor naked
yeah, that's very true. Everybody's seen Thor naked.
at this point. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's not get derailed.
Yes.
Sorry.
So that even in that moment where she's trying to do the you guys, I'm trying to be serious.
I'm sorry.
You just realized the pun value of that, didn't you, Laurie?
Okay. Okay. We're here. Sorry, continue.
I forgot what I was saying.
True.
Oh, yeah, she's in the box with the saws, and she's like trying to I can't control the transformation, but then she does transform and she busts out of there, and she's still completely in control of herself, and he's dumbfounded because she's in control of herself, and so like that, so it was literally only the first transformation where she didn't really understand what was going on, and then this the most recent episode where she was She-Hulk, but she lost control of herself. So, like, those are the only times we saw the real rage where she didn't really have control. And that's what she said in the first episode was that I have to have control because if I don't, I might get my whole life ruined by the internet. I might lose my job. I might get straight up murdered.
Yeah,
Excuse
especially as a lawyer, you're working in this
Mhm.
environment with a bunch of like dudes who are full of themselves.
Yeah, like Mark said in a strong women make fragile male egos explode. Like, yeah, like it's so true. Like, how many times have you seen a female lawyer, and gone, she's hot, I want her? Like, it's because it's that she's not feminine because she's strong and she's intelligent, and those are masculine traits somehow.
Right.
I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get why women have to be silly and superficial and stupid. Why can't intelligence be seen as something sexy?
Right. And when you're working in an industry that's so dominated by men, you have to work twice as hard to kind of prove yourself and
Yep.
yeah. Or to get paid the same amount.
Yeah. Oh, does that ever happen? Jesus. I mean, they have that very over the top. I can't remember his name, but he's that asshole lawyer that like right in the very beginning we see him and he's like, I still think I should be doing the opening because I'm better and I'm better than you, just, and it's like by virtue of penis, he's better. That is it. He has no reason to suggest that he's better except that he's a guy. And like she makes her statement is so good and it's like thought out and it's rational and it's calm and she delivers it very impeccably, and then he's like, well, it's not going to be as good as I would do, and it's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
My favorite part is the character has been breaking the fourth wall since the 80s, made Dude Bros the big villain. So everyone bitching about the show online are literally the bad guys of the show. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yes, that is. And I've seen more than one some bitcher on the internet complained that she stole Deadpool's shtick, and I'm like, did she though? Did you?
No.
Have you read the comics? Like, I do not know shit about shit when it comes to Marvel Comics, and I knew that wasn't right. Like, I fucking knew that. My ignorant ass knew that. So, like,
Yeah.
and if you're gonna make such a, like, they have to know, when somebody makes that statement, they have to know that that's a very strong stance to take, right? So, maybe Google it first before you decide to make a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
Especially because anybody who knows the actual material, their Google search could find specific panels wherein Deadpool is thanking her for that trick. That has happened in the comics. Deadpool has credited She-Hulk.
So, like,
Yeah.
She-Hulk taught him how to do it. I didn't know that. Take that! Person
Yeah.
on the internet who I can't even remember where I saw it, because I do a lot of lurking on, like, Reddit.
I've seen
and
it in a
shit.
few places for sure.
Yeah.
I died. I don't remember which episode it was. I think it was maybe the second or third, where they just, like, they were scrolling through tweets, and the tweets were basically like real tweets that, or
Yes!
remakes of
Oh
real
my
tweets
God!
that people were tweeting to complain about She-Hulk, and like I had to pause, and like I was laughing so hard I cried, because it's just like they're just feeding them ammo.
Yeah,
this
like
point,
you're writing the
tweets-
next episode for them.
Those
Come on.
tweets came into existence the second the show was announced. I was watching them in real time. And it's like, I think they literally did grab real tweets that were coming up when they announced the show and put them into the show.
Yeah.
And if they, and I hope they left the names real and everything, because that's amazing.
That would be perfect.
And then I don't remember which episode, I don't remember which bad date it was, but when she's like, she has to go and deal with that one asshole, and she's like, this guy, and I was like, just say this fucking guy, come on. And she had to, like, last week on this guy or something, like, she recapped why he was an asshole. Do you remember that part? And I was just like, yeah, like, she should just have been like, yeah, this fucking guy, and come on, like, let her have one F word, come on.
Yes.
I know it's a Disney show, but come on, are you telling me that everybody who watches Disney has never heard the F word before? Because I know several children under the age of 6 that would beg to differ, because
Deadpool and all the Netflix shows are on Disney Plus now. There is no excuse.
Yeah, she can't have one. Come on. But I mean, there might have been a better time to use it than that. But that just seemed like, it's like, What We Do in the Shadows. This fucking guy.
Yes, exactly. There's Channel Mandor.
I'm just saying, man. So, there's a whole forum, and it's Hulk King is the operator of that whole forum that's dedicated to hating and bringing down She-Hulk. And it's, what is it, Intelligentsia? Is that the name of it? That's
Yep.
They've still, as of yet, have not really advertised their reason for being after her and wanting to take her down, I don't think.
No, they've only hinted at it,
Yeah.
and
They've made it clear they want to, but they haven't said why.
With the getting her blood, whoever their boss is. In the comics, I believe the Intelligentsia is led by the leader.
The leader.
And the leader is the scientist Sam Stearns, who was the guy who got Bruce's blood in the Incredible Hulk, the Ed Norton movie, and he got it dripped into his head. And they've already announced he's going to be the antagonist in the next Captain America movie. They got the actor back, Tim Blake Nelson.
Oh, nice.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be a...
I mean, I hate that you're right, Fish. That sucks. Oh, Javon's here. Hey, Javon. He says, "Evening, ladies. Thanks for
Hello.
joining us. We're still here for a few more minutes." Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what their reasoning is, aside from just, as Fish said, she's a woman. So, and also, okay, what's his name? Abomination? What the fuck
Yeah.
is, him. He started his weird little commune with his 8 wives, and and he had the dude who attacked her several episodes prior was living there for a while, and there was a little lack of resolution there that I kind of wish that I would have gotten to see some of, like, why did she suddenly start to trust him? It didn't seem like there was enough like, there should have been some shit happening between her attacking him and her accepting him as her friend that we didn't get to see. Because, like, why did he attack her? He kind of alluded to it, that he was angry, and did somebody pay him? I can't remember exactly,
Yeah,
but, like...
they were paid, and that was never discussed when they were in group.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like,
Right.
why...
They were goons, basically.
Yeah.
I know we're going to get at least more Abomination, because the trailer shows a shot of Abomination as Abomination at his retreat, where he's wearing, like, a Hawaiian t-shirt, and he's, like, walking around his cult people with his arms out. That's in the trailer. So I'm guessing he's got to pop up again.
Oh, that's great.
Well, let's hope so, because I didn't see Abomination in a Hawaiian shirt, and I want to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a Hawaiian shirt. It might have been like one of those Cuban tops, but I'm not sure. It's kicky.
Okay, well,
That's amazing.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed that scene didn't get cut.
Yeah.
But, I want to know more about, like, this, the whole Blonsky thing. Like, it seemed like that was a one and done. Like, this was her first big client with the new group, with the new law firm, and she needed to prove herself, right? And that was going to be the end of it. And then all that shit, it pops up again, and I'm like, okay, so he's important. This is a guy we're supposed to be continuing to pay attention to, and I don't know about the other people that were at the retreat or whatever. I don't know if they're going to be important, but
Q list characters.
Okay, I thought surely they're probably Marvel characters, but I don't know for sure. But they're clearly not very important Marvel characters, because only the brightest of nerds have ever heard of them.
I had to look up every one of them except for Porcupine, and I only remember Porcupine because of the ridiculous costume, which is spot perfect.
Oh, awesome!
Oh man.
Nice.
That costume is a spot perfect recreation of his comic book costume, and it's exactly that ridiculous.
Yeah. Fish said the guy was a goon and not a big bad guy. Like, and that's fair. And he didn't have his Asgardian construction
Crowbar.
tools. Apparently, they were just Asgardian construction tools. But he didn't have that. But even if he had that, it's already been made very clear that he is still absolutely no match. Even with 3 other dudes with him who also had Asgardian tools, he was still no match for She-Hulk. So, like, she was never in any danger at the retreat. But I still would have been asking a few questions. That just, that shit didn't sit right with me. And also,
that's where the show needs to be 10 minutes longer.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
And, like, who paid for that tow truck to take her smushed car away? And who's gonna pay for the bull and the matador guy smushing her car? Like, because I feel like I have a car and I have car insurance, and I don't remember seeing that anywhere in the policy. So, like,
Right. I feel like Blonsky is rich. Like, he's probably making a fortune off of these people, and his
and his 7 or 8 wives. I don't remember how many it was. They all clearly have a lot of fucking money.
I can't remember the gags now, but the gags in the room, like in his therapy room, like there's all kinds of shit, and it's amazing, and I cannot remember them, but I laughed my ass off when they showed
the little
that
promo,
room.
the posters in the back with the meaningless phrases on them.
I was
meaningless
still waiting.
phrases and abomination puns, like everywhere.
They did have. I think they did have, like, was it in the bathroom or something? They had the fucking the kitty hanging from hanging there Like they had that one in there, and I almost peed my pants because I saw that and I started to laugh, and I just could not. I almost made us have to buy a new couch. I'm telling you, it was so fucking funny to me. But yeah, like there's just and this is they probably did all that intentionally. First of all, to irritate us, and secondly because that leaves open lots of side storylines for future episodes. And right now, we just have more important shit to worry about, and we'll resolve that stuff later. And like D, if they are gonna have Abomination and a Hawaiian shirt in a future episode, then we're going back to the retreat again. So maybe we'll get some more answers. I just feel like if I were Jen, I might not have been so calm and ready to just slip back out of my She-Hulk form around the dude who attacked me with an Asgardian tool a few weeks earlier. So it's just like
the calming experience of the whole thing.
I guess. And I mean, she did have a good schwitz up in the hot hut. What was it called? The sauna room.
Wasn't
whatever
that
the
also
fuck.
fun? I'm pretty sure it was.
It was there were several puns around that. There was at least. And Fish said, "Preach, G, make the show longer. That tow trip costs a freaking fortune." See, I want to know. Did Blonsky just hand the dude a fistful of cash and be like, "Just keep the change, it's fine." Like, just like pull the wad, like on Pretty Woman, where she grabs a wad of money out of her bag and she just stuffs it into Hector Elizondo's hands. I tried to buy a dress and nobody will let me buy a dress. Just only it's just. Here, take my sweaty bills and just keep it all.
Oh, so one last thing I wanted to mention actually that I forgot is her outfit.
Yes.
I'm sure people are mad that it's not a high hip thong, which I mean,
it's not slutty enough.
Which it was cute, and I like high hip thongs, but like it's a very male gaze outfit. And I think what they have on her now is sexy still, but it's how she wanted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the impression that I get.
Yeah, she doesn't have she has shorts, right? And
yeah, it's almost like runner shorts almost.
Yeah, if she's doing like high kicks and stomping through walls and shit, do you really think that nothing is gonna fly out of a thong? Like,
exactly,
you're gonna have
to tape it in. You need to tape your bits in.
This is not made for smashing.
Yes, thank you. And it's not like we're not talking about camel toe. We're talking about the camel toe eating the outfit, because there's no way that shit was staying in if she's doing all that stomping around. So the shorts are so much more practical and still sexy. They're still especially if they I don't remember how high the shorts were because I was too busy watching all the action. But like if the shorts are like high little, not booty shorts, but just slightly longer than booty, like they're still sexy, but they're much more functional as an outfit you're gonna fight in. And her top was totally different too, right? She did not have a halter top; it had sleeve holes,
like little with
like little cap sleeves. And I saw, when I was looking through all of her comic book appearances as much as I could find, and I was like looking, I was like, you can see side boobs sometimes. And it's like, she's not swinging her arms around, doing all this very active fighting and not having a tit pop out the side. So there's no way that is a practical thing to fight in either, unless she's got serious like industrial grade garment tape underneath there. So this outfit, so much more practical, and you can hide a bra under it, which, thank you.
Yeah.
Because is there anything worse than wearing a strapless bra? Can anybody think of anything worse than wearing a strapless bra? It is the worst. It doesn't matter how big or small your boobs are. It's the worst. And that's why you always see us going like this whenever we're wearing a strapless bra. It's the worst.
It doesn't
Her
work.
outfit's kind of like a cyclist's outfit, I think. If you think it looks kind of like the what cyclists wear.
Yeah.
Right.
Which works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Fish said that the outfit, it depends on the kind of smashing, and fair, but also we're talking about a completely different kind of show then. That's getting into Bow Chicka Bow Bow territory, so.
Right.
I mean,
and like
and she
like I
already
said,
made it clear at the end of that episode that it's that outfit that she was wearing was good for both kinds of smashing. So,
Yes. Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
to be fair, Matt couldn't see her, so whatever. He didn't know what she looked like. That's pretty cool. He's not attracted to any woman based on her physical appearance. He's attracted to who she is, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. There's probably
Anyway.
an aspect to being attracted to how she sounds or how she smells too. When
Yeah.
when you're not able to see. Not
Right,
I'm just
yeah.
overthinking that for no reason. But
Oh,
But
I'm
then
sure.
again, he can also tell that she was aroused by her heartbeat too, which I thought was really cute.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that scene so much.
But before they knew the other was a superhero, and they were just sitting at the bar shooting the shit. It was pretty. They had like good candor. They had you immediately saw, oh, this is going somewhere, and it was just good. The whole thing was good. Like even before we realized they were going to end up fighting together, fighting each other and as a team.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
and yeah, I think has had that significant other for more than a couple of days. They're gonna, like you've been in a long-term relationship, like your partner's smell. They have a smell, and you know it. So I'm sure Matt's attracted to because his sight's gone, so he's got keener other senses, and so he's smelling that stuff on like attractive women. He's finding attractive smells.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's I'm really excited for the next episode is the last episode.
Unfortunately,
Of this season. Yeah, it's a huge bummer, and they have so much shit they need to like wrap up for us so that we don't end up giving ourselves coronaries waiting for the next season.
Yeah. Marvel has so far been, in my personal opinion, terrible about their wrap-ups with the series. They rush everything into that last episode, and it almost always leaves me going, but what about you sons of bitches?
Yeah, there's so much. What's happening?
Yeah, and I'll tolerate it. I'll tolerate it as long as they renew it for a second season. But I am going to be so vocal in my limited platforms like this to just bitching about how bad this final episode is if they don't renew it for a second season. And honestly, they'd be stupid not to, because it's been solid as far as ratings go the entire time. All the episodes have done well, and they have enough shows like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and like WandaVision. Like there's obviously room for a second season, but like it's really good without the second season. Do you want to fuck it up by adding a second season? Whereas this one's only going to get better with a second season.
This is definitely a show that will. I think Moon Knight needs a second season.
Yes.
Which has not been announced yet, which is maddening. With like Falcon and the Winter Soldiers not getting a second season, but that's okay because we're getting a fourth Captain America movie with Sam. So that story will continue in the movies, which is great. She-Hulk needs more episodes. She works so great episodic like this, where you kind of come in and out and do the comedy, get a little bit of action, but character-based stuff, which worked great episodic. When I first heard that they were going to be doing a She-Hulk show, I got so excited because the character has never taken off or succeeded mainstream in the comics, where, because like a lot of people have referenced the John Byrne run, but really this is more the Dan Slott and the Charles Soule runs, much more heavily focused on the lawyer stuff, which is great. But like, where in the mainstream comics, a relationship-based legal comedy is not exactly a top 10 comic book hit, that's all over TV. That's where the audience might be, is in this medium. And it's so far, it looks like they're finding an audience that otherwise in the comics ignore it. And it's just a pity, because there have been some fantastic She-Hulk comics that have been largely the inspiration for this run. Definitely the Dan Slott run and the Charles Soule runs are just fantastic for this kind of stuff.
I think they picked They really, as far as the actor lineup goes, they did a excellent job casting with this one too. So it's just perfect. Yeah, Fish said she's made for TV. She is this whole so I mean they're just things that like it'd be cool if it wasn't that way, but it's fine that it's that thing like the CGI things and like you said, D, it's probably going to get better. It's unlikely to get at worst it's going to stay the same, but it's probably going to get better because it always does get better. So like those are true nitpicks. Like I can still enjoy the show even with those things existing. So that makes it a nitpick. It makes it not important. So the rest of the show I think is damn near flawless. I mean,
I've got like no problems at all. I mean, the one thing we were talking about earlier, the one thing I've noticed is there's always this. I know how to immediately discount whether or not I'm going to pay any attention to a review as soon as I see the word cringe. As soon as the word cringe pops up in a review, I know exactly what I'm reading because it's like, it's one of those.
You guys.
Sorry, incels, not everything is meant for you. This is not aimed at you. This is not about your experience or your personal perspective, but it is a broad perspective that has appeal to literally anyone who's not looking at it looking to get indignant and angry. And that's what a lot of people are just straight out the gate like, I want to be angry at this show because it's attacking my sensibilities. And it's kind of like where with the phrase of privilege. No one likes to be told, like, people just, I'm not privileged because I woke up poor or something like that. And it's just like, that's not what it means.
Right.
It's the same kind of scenario. People are feeling like the show is attacking them. And my thoughts are, it's like, if you feel like the show is attacking you, maybe you should consider why that is. Because that's not a good thing. If you're feeling attacked by this, that's saying something about you. That's not necessarily good.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's difficult to try to explain why it's not attacking them without making them go even more on the defensive. So it's just really hard to make.
Sooner or later, you have to say the M word, and they're gonna lose their shit as soon as you say misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like there was a similar reaction to Miss Marvel. It's woke.
Yeah.
Oh God,
that's another word I don't like. When
saying the agenda, the political agenda that show had, because it was a non-white cast, mostly non-white cast, and mostly female cast, and the Muslim stuff. Like, just grow up a little bit. Come on, like there are Muslims, there are women, there are non-white people out there, and it's not. We're not shoehorning in an agenda by adding them to a show. Just get over it. And learn to enjoy the show without, God, if you have if your imagination is so shitty that you can't get over those things, even that they bother you, which, let's be real, they shouldn't. That should not bother you.
But the point of all these, especially with Ms. Marvel, is the point is saying, hey, have you noticed that this is a remarkably relatable character? And if you're having a hard time relating to the character, you're trying to not relate to the character. That they made her, half the point of that show was to kind of say, knock knock, they're Muslims, not space aliens.
Yeah,
and we made the space aliens relatable as well in Captain Marvel, but you people complained about that movie too.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
There's so much shit I could talk about still. We could go on about this for hours. I'm just very distracted by stupid here. By tiny.
I have my door closed. I have my door closed to keep the cats from getting on my lap. Otherwise, I'd have two cats right here.
It'd be awesome if I could close. I don't have a door. This is the main room in the place. So, but when after Twee passed away, it was very much nobody bothered me for a while, and now this one here likes to come over, and if I don't immediately acknowledge her, she will reach up and stick her claws right into my ass cheek. So I don't like to ignore her if I can help it because it's painful.
I have lots of little scratches around here because God forbid my hand is doing anything except administering kitty love. Because then it's just like.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
More.
Yeah, these fucking cats, man. Okay.
Real quick, someone brought up the twerking. That was a huge point of contention. I don't know why.
Oh my god.
The twerking.
Megan the Stallion is amazing, and she kind of, she's like a pioneer of twerking. And like, to not twerk with her when you meet her is nonsense. Like, you would, everybody would. And
yeah,
I don't know why men were angry about her twerking.
I
saw,
saw
like, oh, she's in the workplace, and it's like, okay, so you've never like danced in your office before? Like, what now you're just making shit up. Like,
I
now
saw
you're just trying
an argument about that where this idiot goes on a bender about how this man's gaze and this is supposed to appeal to women and be more like from her point of view and yada yada, and then she twerks and that's very obviously meant for the male gaze, and it's like, no it wasn't, you fucking idiot. No, because I mean, raise your hand if you didn't do a weird dance somewhere that's kind of inappropriate today. Like, unless you haven't left your house today, you probably were if you were in your office or a grocery store or whatever. Are you gonna tell me that you've never done a weird little dance in the Walmart fucking frozen food aisle while you were shopping and you heard a good song come on and are you gonna tell me you didn't just do a little jig for it? Like, come on. And she was dancing.
I took a shower today. I danced. Because I have music on. I put my phone on with music. I take my shower. I come out of my shower. I'm doing a horrible, horrible dance.
And let's just pretend for a second that no woman has ever danced outside of actual situations where it's considered appropriate. She just took on Megan the Stallion as a client. And Megan the Stallion, like Laurie said, Megan the Stallion is a connoisseur of twerk. And if Megan the Stallion wants you to twerk with her, you fucking twerk with Megan the Stallion. That's what you do. And it doesn't matter how professional you think it was or how you think it was meant for the male gaze, which, by the way, again, it wasn't. It was two girls having fun together. It was not meant for you to get a boner from. Just stop, okay? Not everything is for you. Just stop.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's very frustrating because, like, I mean, at least 75, 80% of men out there thought it was funny and cute and did not take it as an attempt for the show producers to make her sexually appealing. Like, most of the men that watched the show did not think that. But then there was a few. Oh! I just thought of another one. Like, remember when they spoiled The Sopranos with Long? Fucking 15-year-old show, and they spoiled it. It ended 15 years ago. It's not beginning 15 years ago. It ended 15 years ago, and it had a pretty solid length of a run, and they fucking spoiled it. If you haven't seen The Sopranos by now, that is your own goddamn fault, and they do not need to issue a spoiler warning. Yeah. God damn it.
Spoilers. King Kong dies at the end.
Right. Like, oh my goodness.
I had to say that I really found that the twerking thing drove me nuts to a high degree, because I'm like, I keep thinking back to every ridiculous dance scene that we've had in the MCU, and we have had a lot of them, and there's been no screaming indignation. Nobody felt their world was destroyed by the mentioning of America's ass.
Star-Lord had 2 dance battles for literally no reason.
Exactly.
And he's fighting Ego, a very dangerous celestial, and he turned into Pac-Man. How was that professional? Come on, Star-Lord. Come on, Quill. Unprofessional. And that was not meant for the male gaze, or what the fuck ever I just said. Yes, exactly. Those are exactly.
We have had a lot of dancing in the MCU. I've seen a list. There's like 6 or 7 scenes. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. Amazingly, no internet outrage over any of them until it's She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, was it specifically the twerking that was the problem? Because that's one of the many ways that people dance. I mean, and that was, I guess twerking is considered, was one of the things that you don't often see a man twerking, is, you know, like maybe that's the problem. Maybe it was specifically the twerking, but like, just still, just fucking grow up again.
Oh God, I hate to say it, but that's where the misogyny also meets the racism.
Excellent point. Yeah. I didn't consider that. See, I am woefully ignorant of when I'm watching stuff. I'm not. Sometimes it's so obvious it practically punches you in the face, the racism. But like, I am underexposed to cultures of any. You know, like I just have been in my own little bubble, so I oftentimes miss subtle racism, and that is a good point. And
unfortunately, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we just had a real life example of it. Lizzo played that famous flute. I don't know who it belonged to. I forget.
Yeah, a slave owning president. Yeah, and she owned slaves. It didn't matter.
Right. Some slave owner, right. Mm-hmm. And she played the flute and she absolutely killed it, but she twerked for like 3 seconds at some point during this performance, and that completely invalidates all of it. And she doesn't know how to play the flute, and she's I forget all the shit that I read about how she's destroyed the country and she's a traitor and all of this shit. And it's like,
and if Justin Timberlake had done it, no problem,
perfectly acceptable.
And Lizzo is like, she doesn't even, I don't remember, my knowledge of orchestra instruments is pretty limited, but she doesn't even play that crystal flute that she played. She doesn't even play that kind of flute when she's on stage usually. She plays a totally fucking different kind of flute. It's operated in a completely different way, but the fact that she got up there with a flute she doesn't usually use and she played the fuck out of it. Are you going to tell me that she's not worthy simply because she also shook her ass a little bit? Or is it because she's not a white person? Is it because she's not a man? What is the fucking problem here, guys? She played the shit out of that flute, and she was being watched. She had to go to the Library of Congress and take a fucking, like, she had to be instructed how to properly treat this thing. And also, like, didn't Kim Kardashian borrow a dress from Marilyn Monroe's museum or something, and she messed it up?
Yep.
And everybody freaked out about that similar situation. Although Kim Kardashian was clearly squeezed into that thing like a fucking sausage. So she really should not have been in that dress. She was at least 2 sizes too big for that dress. But
she's also, it's not like she went to school and studied dress wearing. Lizzo is a trained flautist.
Yes, and she's excellent. And it's not even the only instrument she knows how to play. Lizzo knows how to play so many instruments. And like everybody, I bet 95% of the people who complained about how she ruined America by playing an old ass flute that she was taught, like they instructed her how to take care of it. She played it for like 2 minutes.
They played it well.
Yeah, did a fucking amazing job. And she's ruining the country. But like, of those people that bitched about that, how many of them know how to play anything, any instrument? How many of them know how to fucking play Uno? No. Like, how many of them know how to play any fucking instrument out there at all? Seriously.
That's like the statistic. What is it, like 8 out of 10 men think they could score points on Serena Williams or something? It's just like,
it is an embarrassingly large number. They think they could score against how many times did she win Wimbledon and US Open and shit? Like dozens now. Like, she's got over 10 wins.
I'm relatively certain she could kill all 3 of us with 1 ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She could, like,
she's so inclined.
Like, these guys that think they could do it the second they got out onto the court with her, she would just drill her first serve right down the center of their skull and burn a hole right through their heads. And then they would say, "You should try smiling more," as they fall dead to the ground. Oh my god, I killed D! D! D, do we need to call 911?
Oh my
god. Yes.
Oh, ow, that hurts.
Oh no, we don't want to injure you.
It actually hurt.
Do we need to call anybody?
My dog is
Where are
downstairs.
the
I can hear him
kitties?
barking.
Kitties! Kitties, call 911!
Oh.
Okay, you know what? Like,
We need to
I'm
draw
gonna be
this.
nice. We gotta.
This could end up being a strip.
Yes.
Oh.
I want to see that. I would love to see that as a strip. Yes. Okay, you know what? Let's be nice to Dee and let's end the episode here because I think she needs a break. I mean, I can see through the webcam and stuff that your face is changing colors a little, so you need to breathe a bit, I think. Oh shit. I wasn't even trying to be funny either. It's just like,
That was hilarious.
I was just trying to think of the most obnoxious thing I've ever heard a man say as I was saying it. Oh god. Oh man. Okay.
Oh.
But for reals though, we've been on for like almost a half an hour longer than we usually do just because we've had so much things to say. So many things to say. And we could totally do another episode on this. Maybe we will. I don't know. Yeah. But Fred said you're all
What did Fred
awesome.
say?
Here, let me put it up here. You're all awesome.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, you are awesome too. And I love that you guys all come and like watch the whole thing. When like you come and you stay. I mean, even if you show up in the middle of the episode, you stay, and I appreciate the hell out of that. J-Man said people bitch nowadays about the stupidest shit. Get a real life, people. Concur.
Just enjoy some television and enjoy life.
like,
Stop
can
being
I-
anxious about this woman playing a flute. Like she's good at it.
Yeah,
Go
like,
find
can I
something you're
ask-
good at.
What did that hurt you? And then like did that affect your life in any way? And if it did, if the answer's no, then just
Show me on the
Go-
doll where Lizzo touched you.
Exactly.
where Lizzo hurt you. Yeah, like if it hurt you, then just go out and treat yourself to an ice cream and then let it go. Like Elsa said. Let it go, man. I hate to have to invoke more Disney here, but let it go. Let it go. I can't remember the rest of the words. The cold never bothered me anyway. And that's a lie because the cold bothers me a lot. I hate the cold. And it's coming. Winter is coming. All right, fine. That's
Good.
enough.
a
That's
good
enough.
play for
That's enough, Sarah. It's time to go. Yeah, Fred says go out and touch grass. Yeah, that too. That makes me think of the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank. And he goes, the sun is warm, the grass is green. Whenever you start to get upset, the sun is warm, the grass is green. And I say that a lot when something is frustrating me, and then I'll stop and just go, the sun is warm, the grass is green. And nobody ever gets it. Nobody ever calls out my reference.
But it's
I
a good
might-
meditation too.
It is. And more people should be like Mr. Miyagi. Like, when did we ever see Mr. Miyagi get mad? He didn't really get mad. He just got a little bit, like, over justicey, I guess.
He just
don't know.
won.
The most angry he got, I think, was when he was drunk in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was really just kind of sad, really. I mean,
Yeah.
he was more sad than mad. So, all right. So, like, we've literally gone a full half hour longer than usual, so we'll let Dee go before we make her laugh until her side splits. And we're going to be seeing more of you soon, so stay tuned. And J-Man says, the world went to shit when Mr. Rogers died. Not wrong. Mr. Rogers
Okay,
and Bob
yeah.
Ross. Yeah. The genuine, like, kindred spirits in our, yeah.
Yeah.
That saying was clearly not said by someone in Scotland. The sun is warm? Is that the one? Because, yeah, I guess the sun isn't warm in Scotland. It's either burning fucking hot or it's completely useless and hiding behind the clouds, right?
Yeah, I was gonna
So.
say here there's no sun for probably like 4 or 5 months, so
Here is fun.
Bullshit.
Like, it's like cloudy and shitty all summer long here, and then in the wintertime, the sun is just shining and it's blaring, the skies are crystal blue, and it's fucking 20 below zero. And I can't even move to Florida because Florida sucks too.
Florida's the worst.
It's the worst.
Just
I
swimming.
saw
to
a
your
thing on the
car.
news that if you buy a house in Florida, that you can't even insure your house there because all the insurers are leaving the state because it just sucks. Like Florida sucks so bad that even insurance companies don't want anything to do with it.
I was there for 25 years. I could not have gotten out of there faster.
Mm.
Yeah.
America's sweaty taint in every conceivable fashion.
God, and it's even shaped like a penis. So does that make like the like Panama Beach area? Is that the taint?
Technically.
Florida fans, we still love you.
Yeah, we love the people in Florida. We don't like I don't like the people that are in charge of your state. I love our fans that are in Florida, and I'm sorry that things have to be the way that they are. Like all the shit that was bad for you guys. Like I don't. That sucks.
We're a little worried about Florida man.
Mm.
We're a little worried about all of those Florida mans.
Yeah. And to be fair, all of our respective states suck too, just in different ways. Just fun and interesting ways. Like everybody has their own fun little way that their state and city and general block on their street sucks.
Very true.
So, okay, let's leave for real now. Let's all go do the nighttime, get ready for bed. Don't forget to brush your teeth and I never think about these things before I say them, okay? You guys gotta cut me some fucking slack here. God. And I stand by the statement. Florida sucks. The people don't. It's a state. I guess if the state didn't have, I don't like Ron DeSantis. Sorry, to all you Ron DeSantis fans out there. And the way that he says his name, by the way, is DeSantis, and that just makes him seem like a pretentious asshole, doesn't it? Like he says, "I am Ron DeSantis," and like you already seem like a pretentious asshole. You don't need to make it worse.
He's ruining the D. We have the correct D. He can't use D.
Yeah.
In his name. Exactly.
Destroy it.
Exactly. Oh, I hope you guys are
So
ready
many.
for lots of puns.
So many puns. So many puns. Okay. Leaving for real this time, okay? So, like, everybody have a
Thank
wonderful
you, guys.
evening. Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying. Thank you for commenting. Keep doing all that. Tell your friends, you know. Next week we're going to be talking to Malachi Bailey about her. And I know I don't need to explain what that is, right? And if I do, then just get your ass on Kickstarter and back it now. I think it's live now, isn't it? If it's not, it's going to be soon. So you should be following
Tomorrow.
the project. Is it tomorrow? Okay, yeah. So do the thing. And we'll be talking about that on Monday. And then on Tuesday, Miss Medusa's Monstrous Menagerie live stream launch party. I almost forgot what the fuck I called it. Live stream lunch party. And then
Matt and Paul should both be there, and we're all gonna hang out and talk about all kinds of shit, I'm sure.
it's like, you guys, if you're familiar with this show in any way, then you know that we don't stay on topic. That's a thing. So, all right. So yes, have a good evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Dee, for coming and talking about She-Hulk with us.
Thank you for having me.
We definitely should do it again sometime because it's fun. And yeah, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.